Hello, friends, family, and various other people on the internet. My name is Elsie Hines, as you may know, and I decided to do a video about my movie collection. Every time I try to do this, the videos end up way too long, so I'm going to try to get through this really quickly. Brief descriptions of every film, try to keep it under 20 minutes. I'm going to upload it, hopefully it'll be fun. These are the movies that that either I have bought or I kind of consider my own, over the year. But these are the movies that I own, just like that I own, and I love all these movies with the exception of a few, so I'm just going to go through them briefly and talk about why I like them. 21 Jump Street, great comedy, my favorite movie of that year, by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. I don't know how I forgot their names, but I don't think they made a bad movie yet. Lego Movie was amazing. Let's see, yeah, it's down there now. Put that back up. Anyway, 300, Tonight We Dine in Hell. It's not in the title, but still. 300 is my favorite Zack Snyder movie. It's an amazing film, really likable characters, amazing action, visually stunning. Great. I love this movie. A movie that used to terrify me as a child, but now I'm in love with it, Aliens. One of the best performances by Sigourney Weaver. This movie is crazy quotable, a lot of fun, a lot of action. The Alien Queen is one of the coolest bad guys. I consider her a villains in film. I can't say enough about The Avengers. It's an amazing film. My favorite superhero movie of all time, debatably one of them. I love this film. It's amazing. Just got this movie today, actually. Obviously, I've seen it before, but I wanted it for my collection. Back to the Future. Great film. I grew up in this film. I love this film. Michael J. Fox is amazing in this. He's really likable to character. How am I forgetting actors' names? This is ridiculous. Christopher Lloyd does a great job as Dr. Emmett Brown in this film. Kind of the stereotypical crazy mad scientist, but this is really where it started. I love this movie, Back to the Future. If you haven't seen it, you need to. Batman 1989, and okay, I'll get that in a second. Batman 1989 is one of those movies that, like, I understand what it represents. I didn't grow up on it, but if I did, and it was the only Batman thing that we had at that point, I would probably love this film. I really, really like this film, but I'm not in love with it like some other Batman interpretations. It's really good. Jack Nicholson does a good job as the Joker. Michael Keaton's fine as Bruce Wayne. He's pretty good as Batman, but it definitely doesn't hold up to par some of the other movies from this era. But still, great film. Now, a film fell to the floor. Thankfully, it's the next one, Breakfast Club. I love this film. My favorite movie soundtrack of all time. Debatably. Sorry, hiccups. Debatably. Best ending to a film, in my humble opinion. I don't have a film that just gives me more closure than Breakfast Club. I love this film. It's amazing. Casino Royale, amazing action, really cool. James Bond as Daniel Craig. I have it on Blu-ray. It looks incredible on Blu-ray. I love this film. It's on IGN's top 25 Blu-rays. It's a great reintroduction to Bond if you don't know Bond. Great film. Also, it just kind of diverges from other Bond films, but it's still really, really good. Fun movie. Cowboys and Aliens, a great film by Jon Favreau. It's a lot of fun. It holds the spirits of the comics it holds the spirit of the comic it's based on, but it differs from the story in many ways. But I still really like this film. The Dark Knight trilogy, yes, it's one trilogy. I'll talk about each movie. Batman Begins is probably my favorite of all three of them. It just feels the most comic booky. It feels like the most Batman-ish of them, if that's a word. I really feel like Christian Bale shines as Batman in that film. Dark Knight is an amazing film. It's probably the best of the three as a movie, as an experience, whereas Batman Begins, I think, is the best movie, best character movie. Even though The Dark Knight, it's incredible. The Dark Knight just sucks you in. It's gritty, it's realistic, it's amazing. And Dark Knight Rises is the most epic of all of them. It feels the most cinematic. I think it is the one that is the theater experience. In my opinion, Dark Knight Rises is my favorite soundtrack of all these films. The music really absorbs me into Dark Knight Rises. It has the most epic score. It's just very big and grand, whereas the story feels very big and grand. So all three of these films are amazing. One of the best trilogies of all time. Die Hard starring Bruce Willis, really, really fun film. Pretty much like Bruce Willis as John McClane is one of the most likable protagonists. Hans Gruber is a really great villain in this film. I love, but it's not my favorite Die Hard. My favorite Die Hard movie is Die Hard with a Vengeance, starring Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson, and Jeremy Irons as the villain Simon, who's the brother of Hans Gruber. It's a great film. I love this film. It's actually my favorite Die Hard movie. I really like the new scope that they have this movie. It taking place all over New York. Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis look really great together. It's a great film. District 9, amazing film in acting, an amazing film with story, an amazing film with concept, an amazing film with effects, everything. Man on a low budget, but is actually just a great looking movie in every aspect. It's great in every aspect. I love this film. It's actually the movie that got me into movies. Maybe I'll go into a video one day where I explain that more, but yeah, I love this film. Anyway, let's get straight away from the alphabetical order, but I'll explain that in a minute. Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and World's End. I consider these movies the Edgar Wright trilogy, because to me they all really feel like they are in the same universe, even though they don't have the same characters or anything like that. All the actors portray different characters. They really feel like they grow off each other. They're edited similarly. They feel the same. You know, they all are written pretty similar, and they're all great, and they each evolve off one another, and they have a different satire, and they're wonderful. And The World's End is probably my favorite of all of them because first off, it looks amazing on Blu-ray. Secondly, you really do feel like this is a conclusion to all these films because there are a whole bunch of like references and tie-ins to the to Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, and I really love this film. All these films are great. They're amazing. They're all funny as hell, and they really do respect the satire of each film. Evolution, maybe not the best comedy ever, but I grew up on it. I watched it all the time when I was younger. It holds a special place in my heart. You know, it's pretty fun, likable characters. You know, it's okay. Fantastic Four and Fantastic Four 2. These movies could have been better, obviously, but I really do like Michael Chiklis and Chris Evans' Johnny Storm and The Thing, opposite respectively. Fun action, obviously not the most well written, not the best acting, but they're okay. They're fun. Goldfinger, the movie that actually got me into James Bond and made Sean Connery my favorite James Bond. This just has classic moments, really good action for the time, pretty fast paced for its time. It's a good Bond film, and even on the DVD, it looks really, really good for its time. It's a great movie. Not a movie, but a show, Heroes Season 1. I'm actually rewatching Heroes right now. When I watched it before, I hadn't really been into comics, and now I'm really into comics, so it's really cool to look at this show through that kind of lens, and it's really, really good. Great cast of characters, really fun, you know, has a great sense of awe, big scope for a story. It's great. Not going to talk about it, Inception. So just to let you know, I do have the DVD of Inception, but the little plastic thing is like inside a different disc, which I might explain later, broke off. So I do have the DVD. This comes with the Blu-ray, the DVD, and the special features. This film is amazing. Some of the visual effects in this film are some of the best I've ever seen. There's one fight scene in this film that is my favorite fight scene ever. It's the fight between Joseph Gordon-Levitt and that one Asian guy in the spinning hallway, and that set was actually on huge rings. I watched the special effects. The set was physically spinning when the camera was mounted on the ground, and it looked great and insane and crazy, and I watched all the stunt stuff on that. It's great. The special features in this specific edition is great. There's a little documentary by Joseph Gordon-Levitt on dreaming. It's great. Love this film. I know I'm moving kind of fast, but trust me, if I was moving any slower. Indiana Jones, the whole movie series. So we'll start off just each film. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Great introduction to all of Indiana Jones. It's probably the most fun out of the films, most iconic, has a lot of great moments. It's an amazing movie. You know, it set the stage for Harrison Ford, in my opinion. Well, I think Star Wars is what launched him, but, you know, Indiana Jones is his series. Turn off my phone. Anyway, Temple of Doom, which is actually my favorite of this series. It's the most dark. I like a lot of the moments in this film. The action's very cool. It's got kind of like I said, a much darker tone with like child slavery and whatnot. But it's really, really good. I love Temple of Doom. Last Crusade, which was a great... God damn it. Right. Last Crusade, which was a great hurrah to the Indiana Jones films. You know, they're all really, you know, like, it kind of just ends it on a really high note. You know, it's a fun story, it's a great film, a lot of connections to, like, Indy's past and everything. It's really cool. The third movie is supposed to do that. And Crystal Skull, which I do not mind. I understand why Indiana Jones fans hate this film, but this is actually the first Indiana Jones film I saw, and when I saw it, it was pretty fun. But then I watched the other films, and yes, compared to those films, this is really, really, really not up to par. But I think it's fun for, like, people who either aren't Indiana Jones or can, like, appreciate it as its own kind of thing. It definitely, like, is a step down, but it's still pretty fun. And on this specific edition, there's a little, like, second disc in here that has, like, kind of a documentary about the films and all of it, and, you know, Steven Spielberg and stuff. It's pretty good. Yeah. Iron Man, which is actually my favorite superhero movie ever. Robert Downey Jr. is amazing as Tony Stark. This movie has a lot of action. It's really fun. It's really cool to see Tony Stark Tinker. Don't want to say more about it because, you know, time constraints. Journey to the Center of the Earth. I watched this movie a while back, you know, when I was younger. It's okay. It's not something to go hyped up about. It's the best of, like, the early 3D that I've seen, like the old school, like, you know, like, blue and red 3D. It looked the best in my opinion. Jurassic Park, which is an amazing, amazing, amazing film. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, one of my favorite movie soundtracks of all time. I can just be transported right back into Jurassic Park whenever I hear this theme. Effects that still hold up today. It's a great film. Jurassic Park, definitely see it. Kick-Ass. This is the movie that really got me into like superheroes as a genre and everything. And it's really great. It's really bloody. It's really violent. It makes fun of the superhero genre at the same time. It really appreciates it. It's kick-ass. Kick-ass kicks ass. It's awesome. And Clarice Francis Icaro seals the show. Everything's out of order, but that's fine because I rearranged my collection earlier. So we just went from K to L. Actually, that makes sense. We went from J to... No, we went from K to L. JK. Whoops. Whatever. Anyway. Land of the Lost. Kind of just like a really stupid movie. There's some pretty decent effects. I think Will Ferrell and Danny McBride are really funny in it. I kind of like that stupid kind of humor. I wouldn't watch this. It's definitely not a great movie, but it's just kind of a stupid movie you can watch with your friend. For a PG-13, it's actually kind of raunchy. License to Kill, Timothy Dalton, James Bond. It's okay. It's definitely not one of my favorite James Bond films. For me, it takes it just a little too seriously, which, you know, I kind of like the more fun, upbeat Bond, but this is definitely one of the first really, really dark Bonds, and I can appreciate what it stands for. License to Kill is a good movie. One of my favorite movies of all time. I'm not going to summarize it because it's a really complex story and I don't want to get into it, but it's an amazing film. I love how they work time travel in this film. Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis do amazing in it as the main protagonist. You hear me, protagonist? I'm not going to explain what it is. It's a great movie. Please try not to look up any previews or anything or spoilers about this movie if you decide to see it. You should see it not knowing anything about it. It works the best that way. Looper. I love this movie. Okay. Great. Great, but not as good as the other ones. Amazing. All you need to know. Man of Steel, I waited so long to see this movie in the theaters, and for me it paid off. I really love this film, how they translate, Superman, action-wise, what he is, supposed to be physically in this film. You guys see Superman fly around faster than he's ever done, strongest he's ever been, coolest action scenes, and Henry Cavill did a great job as Superman. Some of the other performances in this film weren't as great, but it's still really great. The special effects holds up, and freaking Russell Crowe's Jor-El is a boss in this movie, and I love how he's weaving the story. Man of Steel. At the bottom, folks. Anyway. Matrix movies. Really great. Okay. Bleh. Except for a really awesome fight scene between Agent Smith and Neo. It was badass. Over the Hedge. Bruce Willis voices a talking raccoon. Not much to say about it. Pacific Rim. My favorite film of this past summer. This was an amazing movie. It's incredible scope. The Blu-ray is amazing. It's a theater experience. If you haven't seen it in theater, I'm so sorry. But if you do have access to some sort of HD TV and a Blu-ray player, please get this on Blu-ray and get below the TV and watch it from above and get big speakers. It's amazing. I love this film. It's a lot of fun. It's just pure fun and it's very original. I love it. Predators with Adrien Brody and a whole bunch of other badasses in a film. Basically, I love the concept for this movie, just badasses fall from the sky and predators hunt them and they try to protect themselves. It harkens back to the original Predator a lot. I love the theme of this movie, how it's pretty much like the first one. There's a lot of tension building scenes, there's a lot of really badass scenes, like when the Predator fought the Yakuza guy in a katana battle. That was sick. I really like this movie. I actually just got Project X today. I thought to myself when I was looking at it, it was really cheap, and I was like, you know what, this movie would look great on Blu-ray, and I actually just watched it with my friend on Blu-ray because that's what he wanted to watch, because for some reason he's a big fan of this film. Even though I do enjoy this film, it's kind of like Superbad meets Grandma's Boy with Paranormal Activity, except the characters aren't as great and it's not written as well, but it's still really, really cool. The found footage really works for the film. It's really good, and the cover says it all, really, and it's really fun to see this party just escalate. I think it's a lot better the first time around you see it, but in high quality it looks amazing. I mean, you get to see all these little intricate things in the party. It's really cool. Project X. Prometheus. Now this movie, I really, 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 really like this movie. I know a lot of people hated it. Well, some people hated it. You either hated this movie or really loved this movie. I really love this movie. The visual effects were incredible. I thought that they had some really cool characters in there, particularly David. I like Naomi Watts' character. That's kind of about it, really. Amazing characters. And Idris Elba as the captain guy. He was cool. And I really liked Guy Pearce's Wayland. Anyway, but yeah, no, this movie's great. Michael Fassbender is the star of the show. It opens up a lot of questions, about like where we're from and whatnot. It has really a lot of cool tie-ins to the Alien films. I really like this film. Visually amazing. I haven't seen it on Blu-ray yet. I actually just got this today. Hopefully it'll look good. I think it will look good. Let's see. Pulp Fiction. This movie looks amazing on Blu-ray. It's one of the best written movies ever, and it just is. I mean, it's just one of the best written movies ever. Really inappropriate, though, very raunchy, both with what you see and what you hear. But it's really well written. Everything that comes out of every character's mouth is perfect for what it needs to be. I love this film. Looks amazing on Blu-ray. A lot of details, a lot of little things that you don't notice the first time through if you see it on DVD. It's visibly better on Blu-ray. So yeah. Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Quite a mouthful there. Rise of the Planet of the Apes. First time I saw this in theaters, I loved it. It was so cool, really thrilling scenes. There's one scene in the movie that just makes me go, holy crap. Cool tie-ins to the first film. It's a great movie. Highly recommend checking it out. RoboCop. This is the 80s right here. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Really likable characters. Peter Weller is great as Alex Murphy, Dash RoboCop. Really cool villains. It's a great film. Really good action that kind of still holds up today when you, when you look at it from a certain standpoint. Better than all the crap that comes out nowadays. But yeah, RoboCop is great. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Now, I love this film for so many reasons I can't get into. This film looks amazing on Blu-ray. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. If I had a top 10 list, this would be in the top 5. I love this film. It's great. Scott Pilgrim. Sky High. I remember when I first saw this. It's actually, I don't remember if it came out in theaters, but I think it would probably look good in theaters. I love how it makes fun of the superhero genre and the satire and stuff, and what superheroes mean. But it's actually really good. A lot of really cool fight scenes. I think Mary Elizabeth Winstead was actually pretty good as the villain. Don't want to get into it more, but I really like this movie. It's good for kids, and even older teens, younger teens. Spaceballs. What can you say about Spaceballs that hasn't already been said? It's an amazing movie. It's hilarious. It makes fun of the Alien films, Terminator, Star Wars. Obviously, it's the hugest one. It's a lot of fun. It's got a lot of heart in it. It's really good. Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3. Great favorite of the series. Really great action scenes. It was okay. It had the worst effects of the series, weirdly, as it came out last. I really like Topher Grace's Venom, though. Star Trek, which rebooted the Star Trek series. I'm a huge fan of Next Gen. I'm a huge fan of the original films like Wrath of Khan. This was a really great reboot to the Star Trek series. Get it into new audiences. Kicked it into high gear. Gave it a very fast pace. It's really good. I love this film. Into Darkness, which I think is very much superior to the first film. Benedict Cumberbatch does a great job as, spoiler alert, Khan in this film. Great villain, a lot of really fun action scenes. Looks amazing on Blu-ray. One of my, I think, between this and Pacific Rim and Pulp Fiction, it's the best looking Blu-ray. Those three for me that I own. But yeah, this movie's great. Star Wars, the original series. I just got this today, actually. I needed to own it. I got them all on Blu-ray. I love these films so much. I remember the first time I saw them, it was the point where, I'm really getting into movies. I need to see Star Wars, and I love it from a filmmaker standpoint. It's amazing. Really lovable characters. Great action, even for now. Stuff that holds up today. There are some effects in this film that I think hold up today. Just really iconic moments. Darth Vader's an amazing villain. There's not much else I can say about this right now. I would love to make a whole video about Star Wars, and I probably will. I have not seen this yet on Blu-ray because I just got it today, but I'll probably talk about it after I'm done. Love this film. Superbad, hilarious movie with Michael Cera and Jonah Hill. For me, I think this really launched Jonah Hill. This is the first movie I saw Jonah Hill, and he was hilarious. I really love this film. It's a lot of fun. It's pretty much last generation's American Pie, or my generation. I really love this film, but yeah, Superbad. Dun, 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 dun. It's Terminator. What can I say about it? Amazing film. Action still holds up today. Arnold Schwarzenegger is great as Terminator. Robert Patrick is great as T-1000. It's amazing. I love this film. This is an Asylum film that I bought because I thought it was going to be stupid fun, and ended up just turned out being stupid. I hate this film. Don't ever buy it. Tropic Thunder, one of my favorite comedies. An Oscar-worthy performance by Robert Downey Jr. as the black man. There were some moments where I really did think that he was black. Just some moments. This movie's hilarious. I love this film. I love how it makes fun of multiple different genres of film and music and whatnot. It's really fun. I love this movie. And actually, some pretty good action scenes when you think about it. We're on to Unbreakable, one of the two M. Night Shyamalan films that I actually really, really like. This film, I like how it just kind of analyzes comics and superheroes and what they mean, and some great performances by Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson. And Bruce Willis' kid, I wish I could remember the kid actor's name. I wonder where he is now, but he was really good. Really good film. Kind of a slow burn, but it really is deep. X-Men 1.5, it's actually just X-Men 1, and the point 5 is because the second disc comes with like 5 hours of extra stuff, of interviews and stuff. I really like this film. It was a good start for the X-Men. I'm reading a lot of comics now, and I think that Hugh Jackman is definitely the best part of the movie. Also, Patrick Stewart as Xavier was great. Really fun action. I really like this film. It took X-Men seriously and comics seriously, and it's really good. I have X-Men 2, and that's actually my favorite X-Men movie, with the exception of First Class. Well, I think X2 gets the point of X-Men across more. I'm letting a friend borrow right now, so I don't have it with me, but yeah, X2, amazing, and Nightcrawler's perfect. Last movie on my list, X-Men First Class. This movie is incredible. It's the most fun of the X-Men films. Michael Fassbender is amazing as Magneto, even a little bit better in my opinion than Ian McKellen. I really feel his character come through in this film. It was amazing to see all these characters grow, all of them relate to one another. Jennifer Lawrence was great to Mystique, giving that character that I think is really simple in the comics a lot of depth, you know. And Nicholas Hoult was okay as Beast, but I prefer Kelsey Grammer from X-Men Last Stand. Only good part of that movie. But yeah, so X-Men First Class. That, folks, is my movie collection so far. I hope to get more movies. You know, this is just what I have so far. Maybe I'll start doing more movie reviews, something like that. I don't know.